Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room,
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. We are live on this fine Thursday, and I appreciate you being with me. We like this Anchor Baby, right? Wouldn't that be a dream to get an actual audio clip of Trump saying, we like this Anchor Baby, right? Another dream, Anchor Baby with a dream. So many dreams. Maybe we'll get to them one day. But you're here with me today. Thank you. What's up? 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔, Vexed, Cameron, Bobby Blanco, Tyrone, at least the artist formerly known as Tyrone. And we even got Bedbug. How you doing? I'm doing great. It'll be a nice Thursday today, okay? I got a number of things I want to put my commentary on. I got a little bug that I want to get off my chest on a couple of things. So you'll be here with me today on this Thursday as we do it. You know, Tucker's in Moscow. There was an amazing clip that came out of that. And all the conservatives, they want to put the pedophiles to death. Maybe I shouldn't have even said it like that. Sorry, YouTube. Am I not even allowed to speak just English, YouTube? Let me know. But they want them dead. They want the death penalty. In fact, Idaho will be considering that. I think we'll be doing that. And it's made me think about a few things. Seeing all your reactions has, I don't know, maybe I'm not so... The death penalty has taken on a different meaning. But I want to get into a number of things. They're talking about marriage, Matt Walsh, big old spat over it. I want to get in on that. There's so many things. And your calls, 888-775-3773. Appreciate you being with me. Nick's Dream. What's up, everybody? Hey, baby Zelensky. I almost forgot. I'm wearing the Zelensky. And you know what that means. You're feeling generous. You're hearing my voice. You're getting jagged up. You're getting excited. You're feeling patriotic. Not really American, but and you just want to give. You can't always support monetarily, and you can support by liking, subscribing, hitting that like button as on your way in. It helps. It really does. So don't discount your little like button. It's doing a lot. So click it. And if you don't like, comment. You can leave a comment. If you a pedo, don't go to Idaho, says Ohio Sentinel. Thank you, Ohio Sentinel. I'm live on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. And I'm also live on dlive.tv/Gorgonzola. Incredible. I think I want to kick this off with some clips. I think I want to kick it off with some clip action here. Some clip action. Tucker in Russia. Tucker in Moscow. Moscow? He's in Russia, and he wants to show us what it's like, particularly in a subway station, train station This first clip is Tucker in a Moscow train station, and he's showing the difference, okay? And I want to show you in this amazing clip. We might need Lil Nick on this one, okay? So watch for him. We'll be right. We'll be right with him. Oh, I think I got to unmute something. Boom. Let's rock.
One of the ways you understand a society is through its infrastructure, the places where people gather, the places where they go to travel. If you've got a lot of people in one place, it tells you a lot about the people. So with that in mind, we're standing in front of the 𝒔𝒊𝒂𝒎 metro station, and there's a train station next to it. Now, the metro station was built by Joseph Stalin 70 years ago. And the question is, how's it doing now, after 70 years? So we went into it to take a look, and what we found shocked us. Now, that's not an endorsement of Stalin, who was bad, obviously, nor is it an endorsement of the current president, Vladimir Putin. You may not like him either. But it doesn't change the reality of what we saw, or more precisely, didn't see. There's no graffiti, there's no filth, there are no foul smells, there are no bums or drug addicts or rapists or people waiting to push you onto the train tracks and kill you. No, it's perfectly clean and orderly. And how do you explain that? We're not even going to guess.
70 years. I got to cut in. It might break it up a bit. People tell me this is what I was supposed to do. Don't play the whole clip. No, I'm messing around. 70 years, I say Toronto stays clean because it's much a newer city that eventually cities just turn nasty. But here's a 70-year-old train station.
That's not our job. We're only going to ask the question. And if your response is to shout at us slogans dumber than the slogans we used to call Soviet and mock, that's not really an answer. How does Russia, a country we're told is a gas station with nuclear weapons, have a subway station that normal people use to get to work and home every single day that's nicer than anything in our country? We're not going to speculate. We're just going to raise the question and wait for someone in charge to give us an answer.
No subway rats, lame. No graffiti, lame. My chat. You guys are making a point. You guys are foreshadowing a point for me.
What is the answer? So we'll stop the lecture and let you take a look for yourself at what the 𝒔𝒊𝒂𝒎 metro station in Moscow, Russia looks like today, February 2024, in the middle of a war. Here it is.
Wow. Wow. Is there anything like this in America? Someone help me out. Like comparable. You saw those chandeliers. You saw the art. You saw the cleanliness. Anybody in New York? What's Grand Central Station like? Is it clean? It's beautiful, right? It's a truly incredible thing, right? Russia does it. It's not only Russia. We got nice things too. Huh? Anybody know Grand Central? Is it a ish hole, as some might call it? It's almost done. You need to see this last shot. Okay, now that's one. The one right before it. Is this Lenin? Is that Lenin? Vladimir Lenin. No, that's not Lenin. That could be Lenin. We're moving on. I don't know who that is. Maybe it says on that plaque. I can't read that. Great. Thank you, Tucker. I think that's enough. Appreciate that, Tucker. Okay. Incredible. Tucker in Moscow. It's an amazing clip. What do you guys say? No rat in sight. Lenin hearts. Look at all those beautiful Asiatic whites. Yeah, they do. I don't know what that quite means, but they look like Asiatic whites. There maybe is some Mongol. I don't know what it is, but they look rather, from a layman's point of view, Russian. For like and Russian adjacent. Mongolian? I don't know. What the heck am I talking about? Someone help me. I live in Russia and I've never even been there, says Hillary. We got a Russian. Hillary, you're in Russia? No way. Do you by chance know the alpha male? Is the music Russian or Anglo? Great question. Don't know. What an evil culture of barbaric conquerors. I was just going to say that. Steve Harvey. Stop talking about Steve Harvey's book. How to win friends and influence people. A famous book by Steve Harvey. I don't know anything about it, so stop talking about it. This is an amazing clip, for obvious reasons, but we really don't have to live in like Mad Max world, but our leaders want it like this. They do. They really do. The people too, though. I think the people want it too. People in my chat saying, what, no graffiti? You're probably just messing around, right? But don't New Yorkers say they love their city this way? It's something I've heard. New Yorkers say they love their city. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. They love it. I've heard this before. Where are my New Yorkers at? Why y'all bugging? Don't people say keep Portland weird or keep my city weird? Keep my city weird. The people want this. Nick yelling at us. No. Where are my New Yorkers at, huh? I have to point it out, though. Some of you have already pointed it out to Tucker. Obviously it has to be pointed out. The station, Tucker, the people in the station, I have to say, they were quite Russian looking. They were in I'd call it, it's in a range maybe. Asiatic, some more like, I said it before, Mongolian. There's some connection there, right? Between the Russians and all that. And Genghis Khan. Or at least some in Russia. But they look rather Russian. Right? Homogeneous is a word that comes to mind. They seem to look the same. They might be the same. They're Russian, okay? They're rather Russian. It looks like you don't have it looks like you don't have a unruly, particularly unruly populace living amongst you. He compares these allegations from our leaders, the barbarians. Look at this. Like someone in my chat said, this barbaric civilization. They want to undo the social order. Putin wants to do that. Our media pits us, these two societies. Well, Tucker did right there, right? Putting them side by side, comparing them. Two nations that are in a proxy war. We're painted this picture of good versus bad. America, the bastion of freedom, modernity. And I don't know if Russia is. I'm not saying it is. But it's a fine comparison. I think it's poignant. And it makes me think a little bit about what Joel was saying the other day. What do we have to offer? What do we really have to offer? How are we different from the Russians whom they accuse? They're evil. They conquest, messing around. But you look into the CIA, you look into our own intelligence, the State Department, it's like a story, it's like a grand espionage story of epic proportions, lies, deceit in the American government. Treachery on the foreign stage, you know what I'm saying? That's America. What do the Christians in America have to offer? What do the good guys, the conservatives? What are we different? And I notice a lot of the time we're not. We're emotional. Even in politics, Republicans are Democrat light. Even in our homes, the father, even conservative, military, muscle dads, cops, weak to the mother. It's something I've been thinking about. What do we really have to offer? How are we different? Something to keep in mind when we get into the story after this. I want to get into the PDF file stuff that I was thinking about. But something to keep in mind when we get there. What's our answer? How are we any different than the liberals, the Democrats, the evil people, the satanic PDF file, Hollyweird, adrenochrome drinkers? So we'll get into that. I see your calls coming in, 888-775-3773. We are taking calls. He was also in a grocery store. Might as well show you this too. He was in a Russian Moscow grocery store. Tucker was trying to show the difference in, oh wow, we got Nick squared. We don't need you right now, man. He's just trying to show us the effects of inflation and put on camera one of these so-called Soviet gas station grocery stores that people have to line up for barely anything. The things we're told about these countries. Moscow grocery store here. Let's watch.
So a long-standing feature, maybe the longest-standing feature of Cold War propaganda in the West was the Soviet grocery store. No products, no choices, shoddily made things. And it wasn't actually propaganda, it was real. And you can look up the pictures on the internet if you want. So we thought it would be interesting to take a look at a contemporary, modern-day, 2024 Russian grocery store 2 years into sanctions. Here we go.
2 years into sanctions. The U.S. government trying to hit him hard in the wallet, but don't know if it's working.
All right. There we go.
I'm not going to play too much of this, honestly. Just wanted to show you the shopping cart bit.
So I guess you put in 10 rubles here, and you get it back when you put the cart back.
This is a white supremacist. This is a white supremacist signaling Tucker Carlson. Someone get the ADL.
So it's free, but there's an incentive to return it and not just bring it to your homeless encampment. Okay, this is the grocery cart escalator. This is designed, I'm figuring this out now, where the wheels don't move, they lock on the grocery cart escalator.
Okay, Tucker, I'm sorry, man. I got to stop you right there, man. Look, I appreciate what you're doing. Yeah, shopping carts. I'm messing around with you. I'm not going to call the ADL on you. Okay, you're absolutely correct. If you care about where you're living, you'll put the shopping cart back. Okay, very based. But look, man, Tucker, are you going to tell me you're absolutely? Have you ever even been to a grocery store in the United States? Tucker Carlson, man, you're in awe. You're in awe at this shopping cart grocery store escalator. Every single Walmart with multiple levels has one of these. When's the last time you've been to a grocery store, man? I'm just saying, I got to defend America here. Look, you get to talk. No, I'm just messing around. But, yeah, we got these.
Look, Ma, no hands.
Appreciate it, Tucker. Nice work, though. Keep it up. Do your thing. Let them get mad. Let them call you. Cartnarks did it better. Right on, Triple T. Hey, nice to see you in the chat, sir. Walmart with multiple levels. Those exist? Wait, they don't exist, Chris? Do they only exist in Canada? Look, even if it's not a Walmart, you're telling me you've never seen a grocery store escalator with the shopping carts with the wheels that lock in? They don't roll back. It's not next level technology here, okay? Appreciate the cleanliness, though. That's super cool. But yeah, right on, Tucker. Keep it up. Don't let him get you down. They're saying you're a Russian agent, you're a propagandist, and you're just in the minds of MAGA Republicans, and you're just fomenting stuff as a Russian agent Don't let them get you down, Tucker. They're just mad because they want to do that. They're just jealous. They want to get into the minds of Americans and brainwash and control them. And they're just jealous that you get to do that. Right on, Tucker. You keep it up. Keep brainwashing. No, again, I'm messing around. I'm having fun. But on mass media, a point on this, mass media and morality, Tucker got a lot of bad press for going to Russia, trying to bring a even reporting to the whole situation because money's going there. Money's going to this war. American public opinion is at a all-time premium, which it may have been for the last 80 years, but the world cares about what Americans care about, okay? What they're thinking about, what they support and what they don't support, what war they may support or not. Public opinion here. And we've talked about that before on this show. But people who fall, this has to be said, a person who falls for fake news is an immoral, evil person. Doesn't mean you have to judge them. You don't have to get mad at them. You got to understand that they're like degenerated. It's almost like a person that can't help themselves, like a immoral, evil, degenerated person. They have fear. They have relinquished their individuality. And so it stands to reason that they have anger, the spirit that begets all of this. Public opinion is swayed constantly, all the time. That's why the media is mad at Tucker. They're jealous. They want this. They want the monopoly on the American mind. But this brings to question a relationship here between the public and the government and its arm of control, the media. And this relationship is a two-way street. I'm seeing people point out, and it's been blown wide open since 2016, thanks to Trump. I don't know about you guys, but it really felt like before fake news, that Republicans, everybody was pretty much cool with the media. The news only lied sometimes. It lies all the time. It's constantly lying, and it's for the agenda of the state, of the government. And so I'm seeing people point this out, and fairly, rightly so. But there's a relationship going on here, and there's another function going on here. And this function is the immorality of a public that can be brainwashed. You can't forget that. Yeah, you may. So what do you do, right? You ask, well, Nick, so then what do you do? If you could have a populace that can be brainwashed, there's nothing you can do. You have the evil overlords controlling the media, and that's it. But that's not true. Jesus exists. God exists. In your individual little way life, you can pull away from the fight and not take a side. People who fall for fake news are immoral, evil people. So you got to figure that out. Nick got a whole closet of those Zelenskys. So I just wanted to point that out. It's we can't drop the responsibility here because then it'll never get better, and then it could just happen over and over again. I don't know if what I'm speaking about is such a abstract thing here, because it may very well be that this is just society. This is just life. The wide road to destruction. It's just how it is from the beginning. Most people are going to be brainwashed. Most people are going to. So, just want to point that out, I guess. I see people pointing out the evil media and all this. But they're not forcing us to fall for it. Anyways. Just had to point that out since we're talking about Tucker here. Tucker in Russia. Great stuff. And I want to get into something here, sort of related. What's our answer? What's the response and how are we, and how can we be any different from from the liberals, the evil people, the non-Christians, the people we talk about? We'll get into that. First, I have a call, though. I got Mark out of Los Angeles. Appreciate your call, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks for taking the call.
No problem.
Wanted to talk about two quick things. First of all, I don't know if you've heard this or not, but I don't know if you're familiar with Senator Manchin of West Virginia, Democrat.
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay, you know who that is, right?
A little bit. You might have to remind me.
Well, he's a jerk. He's a Democrat. He comes from West Virginia, which is the most pro-Trump state in the union, proportionate to their numbers. They had the highest percentage vote for President Trump in 2016 and 2020. Anyway, somehow this bozo got elected, Manchin, and now he's talking about picking Mitt Romney, the total Judas scumbag rat, to be his VP in what's called a no labels party to run in the 24 election.
As president?
Yeah.
Like a totally new party. This is not an independent. Is that different than being an independent? Sorry, this might be a basic question.
Sure, it's called the No Labels Party, and Manchin is a Democrat and who comes from a pro-Trump state, and Romney's the devil. We know who he is. So,
and Romney is a Republican still, right?
In name only.
In name only, right?
Yeah, I mean he's literally the devil. Everything about him's evil.
Literally.
Okay, pardon?
Go on.
No, I was just going to say that's something to think about, these two bozos. It'll take votes away from Biden. That's the one good thing in this, if they end up running together. The other thing...
What do you make of that? I mean, as someone... I just want to get into that a little bit. As someone who... I know the name Romney, and I know him as a rhino, especially since I've been following since 2016. But, what do you make? Because maybe because to me it seems like, who are these people? Like, I know their names, and I know them from following politics, but when I say who are these people, who are they in terms of, like, as an actual presidential candidate? Is there anyone actually considering... Are they a threat for real? Like,
no, they're not going to win anything. The only thing that I hope, if these two bozos run, that they take votes away from Biden.
So what do you mean the strategy?
I can't imagine anybody voting for Manchin or Romney on the Republican side. Romney will not be reelected in Utah. He tricked him once. He won't trick him again. There's nothing conservative about him. He's a rat all the way through. And
what's the play?
Like I say,
what's the play here? Like, that's what I'm trying to understand.
Well, I don't know.
The only thing I can conclude is desperation. Like, we got to do something about Trump.
Yeah, they hate
Is it really that basic?
Well, I don't. It might be.
Who knows? Right? Who knows?
I can't figure out how the governor and now senator from the most pro-Trump state in the country could be such a fool. He hates Trump. He's verbal about it. He's never going to get reelected in West Virginia. Like Romney will never be reelected in Utah. I figure these two bozos have nothing better to do than to try to stick it to Trump any way they can. They're both evil men. Okay, so
that's almost poetic. Democrat, Republican coming together.
In a way, absolutely. They're both losers anyway. The other thing is, I don't know if you knew this. You remember this Robin DiAngelo, this witch, self-hating white witch?
The one who wrote that book.
That's the one.
White Fragility.
One. Yes. Well, now, recently, in the last few days, she's come out and said, the painting by Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel, where it shows God creating man, the painting that I'm talking about, it's on the ceiling. It shows God touching man. There's angels and clouds. Okay.
Adam and God.
Pardon me?
Adam and God.
Yes.
God touching Adam.
Exactly. Okay, DiAngelo is saying that should be removed because it's racist, because it shows God being white, it shows the first man being white, all the angels are white. This offends the sick, demonic mind of the white hater in this world, not just her.
Is she white?
She's an example. She's white, yeah, she's Italian, DiAngelo. But she's the scum of the earth. I mean, that doesn't, matter at all. She's just an evil witch. But to say the Sistine Chapel is racist and white supremacist, I hope it means a one-way ticket to hell for her, because that's exactly where she should go, and that's exactly where her and her ilk belong.
But you think it's because of her disavowing the Sistine Chapel painting?
Well,
I ask because do you find that as particularly egregious to God or something?
Absolutely.
Why do you say that?
Absolutely, because that's a very old painting in Italy by Michelangelo, the famed artist, and it's been revered for centuries. And suddenly, this witch who really probably hates God. I mean, if she hates
that's a great point. She truly does.
Hates God.
She hates God or her father.
Yeah, everything about her is evil, and she admitted in the article that she is a Catholic, and she's running down the Catholics as you would expect. And I don't know.
And I'm president.
Pardon me.
And I'm president. She says she's a Catholic, and I'm president.
Yeah, you're talking about Biden.
Well, she says she's a Catholic, and I'm the president of America.
Oh, exactly. I see what you mean. Well, Biden claims to be a Catholic too. Don't forget. But
but God doesn't care about her saying anything about this painting.
I don't know. It doesn't.
He doesn't care about that.
Well, what if
he saw her being an evil witch way before that when she had anger as a child, maybe. And even then, God doesn't really care.
You got to realize a lot of these people. Now, I think this woman, 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎, is probably in her 50s or 60s. I don't know her age. But she probably was educated in some white-hating college somewhere where they're told that whites are all bad. And this is where her indoctrination probably started. Because when I was in high school, it was starting to, these radical ideas were starting to come out. These anti-white, anti-American ideals started to, become preached in our high schools. I went to a public high school, and this was a long time ago. And you could see the evil coming, and now it's flowering into what it is. And she's a perfect example of what happens when you brainwash kids.
And what is it? And what is it? Flowering into what it is.
It's just what I would call a monster, an evil monster. That's what she is. And the woke movement and the anti-white movement, they're basically trying to destroy God's people. And in the process, destroy America.
I mean, you're essentially correct, man. Yeah. I would say it's anger. I would say it's her anger. That's what's I don't know if I'd say offensive, but that's what has kept her from God. It's not her trying to take down this painting in the Sistine Chapel.
Well, I know, but that's pretty outrageous to say.
It's par for the course if you think about it. A hateful person who hates white people. It's almost to be, it should be totally expected at this point and should garner no response from us at all. Besides just pointing out like rationally without any emotion something that's happening, that's one thing. But this, like I said, par for the course. This should garner no emotional response from us whatsoever. Evil does as evil does.
Well, if you don't know this already, you may want to know. She got popular after the George Floyd incident. She went around the country. Right. She wrote a book, and according to the article I read, she made $700,000 a year in book sales and speaking engagements. And somebody like that to make that kind of money when she's totally worthless, she's selling white hate, and yet, she's allowed to prosper. And they want to get on Tucker for going to Russia like you were just talking about. I agree with everything you said, and I love Tucker. And they want to ban him from Europe. They want to ban him from the U.S. Why don't they ban 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒏 or put her in a jail cell where she really belongs? You can't put people in for their political ideas, unfortunately. In her case, I'd make an exception. I'd make an exception.
But I know, I understand you. You're obviously pulling back. You don't not want to put people in jail for political stuff. But that shouldn't be just allowed. I see where you're coming from. I appreciate the toughness because it's just totally like no pushback on her and all that. That being said, do you see my point though? It's like it shouldn't garner any response from us because evil is gonna do what they do, and you can't convince them otherwise. You can't control them. You can't make them see the light, and they just get life. They just get life out of getting a response out of us, out of you.
Well, I mean, this is a play on words, but God forbid if they took that out because of her whining and her fellow monsters trying to make it happen.
Right on, Mark. I totally understand it. God forbid, man. Well, appreciate your call, Mark.
Thank you. Have a good day.
No problem. Yeah, call me again. Okay. Nugget, man. I think he does, man. You might want to see one of our previous calls, Nugget, man. It might give you an insight into Mark. Thank you, Mark. Call me again. 888-775-3773. If you want to call in, talk about what you want to talk about. What are we doing now? Joe Manchin, Robin DiAngelo, whatever. We're just going to let them, we're going to leave them in their hell. That's what we're going to do. We're going to leave Robin DiAngelo and Joe Manchin and Mitt Romney in their hell. Because you got to figure out your own hell. Look, people are in hell. Just Jen Reacts. This is a person on x.com. Do not dead name x.com. Elon Musk joked recently. Don't dead name. Just Jen Reacts. Is someone on X? And she posted this. She retweeted this video here. Let me see if I can show you. Let me see if I can show you. Just Jen Reacts. This is a effing epidemic. Pedophilia in America is happening at astronomical rates. And the only way we can combat that is to make pedophilia a capital offense. Meaning you die, right? You molest a child, you die. Share if you agree. And she retweeted this post by this Alex Rosen, who posted this video here. This video, he writes, child predator confesses to molesting and creating CP, child, of his own 5-year-old daughter. He is currently scheduled to go on trial in April. I will show you this clip because there's something I want to say about it. Normally, I wouldn't care about this stuff. I know, normally would not, honestly. But I want to see if I could point something out here. I want to see if I can paint a picture here. What do you guys think? Should these Olester Mays, sorry, YouTube, okay, I'm saying the words. What do you guys think? Should these molesters go get the death penalty? Who's for the wood chipper, says Jacob. I have no issue with it, says Kevin Howe. I gotcha. Let's watch this child predator confronted by this, I don't know, these child predator catchers. Let's watch.
I don't understand how, as a father, you are comfortable with sexualizing your own daughter, some random pedophile online. I'm going to tell you, man, I'm not from anywhere near this area, and I came all the way here to talk to you about this. So the least you can do is just be honest with me, okay? I know there's nudes of your daughter on your phone.
There's not.
Yes, there is. We were able to see every single one of your photos already.
Well, I have a problem then, because that phone is at my store.
Okay, so that has nudes of your daughter?
It has a couple, yes.
Okay.
And I will delete those.
When did you take those nudes of your daughter?
A while ago.
What was she doing in those pics?
Just like this.
Okay, were you able to see her private parts?
Just her top.
What about her butt?
Yes, I have some of her butt and underwear.
Okay, were those meant to be for sexual arousement?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you touch her?
No.
Here's what's going to happen now, okay? And I'm prepared to go to her school and go talk to her right now. I'm prepared to go ask her everything.
Please don't.
Okay. I want to hear it from you. Was it maybe just over the clothes, rubbing of the vagina?
What the?
You rubbed her vagina over the clothes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
You're going to be as honest as possible with that guy. Whatever you...
Serious?
Mm-hmm.
Is this fake? That looks like a real cop. The music and the editing, I don't know why they put it. Maybe it's because they just got to fit the short form content. You just got to. But the editing and music makes it seem almost fake. But I think that's a real cop car.
Kevin is now.
And This could be fake too. I don't know. Kevin James Cook, Hamilton County.
In custody at Hamilton County Jail.
And you've seen these videos like this before, right? Where they go after they catch the predators. To catch a predator, in fact, was even a show. To catch a predator. The sun is shining. Take him to the dump. Guy looks traumatized. Interesting common CSS element. It was probably done to him as well. So the child predator is confronted. I see a lot of this content every now and again. I also see this a lot amongst us, our side here, if we're going to call sides. The conservatives, MAGA, Republicans, red, okay? They say death penalty for these sickos. They say wood chipper. I get it. I've heard that. I'm not even criticizing that much that I'm not even criticizing that notion too deeply. I'm pretty much for the death penalty, although I have some thoughts about it. There's a strangeness factor to these types of videos. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I notice this a lot in these types of videos. If someone can back me up in the chat, let me know. But these types of videos where they do these PDF file catch the predators, there's this like strange involvement from the predator catcher. How do I describe this? Even in that video, he's like, I'm not from here, man. I came really far away for this little girl. I know there's nudes in your phone, man. Show me the nudes. We saw every nude. We in fact scrolled through every single nude in great detail. So we saw it all, man. So you're in trouble, bro. You're going to talk to the cops. We saw every little detail, man. And so what was she doing? How was she posed? And exactly what was she doing? And tell me in detail, you sicko. Were you able to see her private parts in her butt? Oh, you probably did see her, and you liked it. You did it, didn't you, you dirty sicko? And were you aroused? Oh, okay. I'm prepared to go talk to her right now, man. And I'm going to tell her, I want to ask her, I want to hear from her. I want her to tell me all the dirty details, you sicko. Was it over the clothes? Did you touch over the clothes? Oh, okay. Yeah, did anybody catch that? There's just like a strange involvement. And I think it comes from anger or hatred or something. And what I'm trying to describe here is you can overreact even in what you think is righteous. You can overreact and think that is so evil and disgusting and wrong, not realizing, and I think a more old school Christianity may have understood this, that mechanism of emotion is what got the PDF file person into that. And it's what's going to keep that spirit going. And it's what's going to keep that spirit going inside of us, inside of you, inside of conservatives, inside of men, inside of Americans. You see what I'm saying? The good side. How are we different? Remember, how are we really different? Now, you guys know I'm not here saying it's okay to be a PDF file, duh. But I'm trying to point something else out here. That's the obvious part. That's obvious. This person deserves jail or worse. But there's a thrill here. What do you guys think so far? There's a thrill. And so what was it? Was it over the clothes? What were you doing? Oh, okay. What the heck, bro? Anyways, just want to point out the emotion, okay? Anyways, let's move on here a little bit. AI child porn bill heads to the Idaho Senate. This is the news here out of KTVB. The House on Tuesday approved a bill to allow the death sentence to be recommended. And hold on, I got to add. Okay. Boise, Idaho. The House voted Tuesday on two bills dealing with harsh penalties for crimes against children. Representatives approved a bill to allow the death sentence to be recommended in some cases of lewd conduct with a minor, and okayed another bill to allow prosecutors to levy charges of sexual exploitation of a child when images of children are generated by artificial intelligence. No more AI stuff. Stop messing around. Even the AI is going to jail. Wasn't there a predator catcher that turned out to be a predator? Is that true, tall man? That's an interesting statement in my chat. Wasn't there a predator catcher that turned out to be a predator? I'm not saying all, obviously, but I am trying to point out a couple of things here. Death sentence for an AI-generated image. What a time to be alive. Interesting. I agree, CSS element. It seems, what I'm trying to point out, it seems like there's nothing proportional about this. There's something quite mama about it. Oh, feel bad for the children. Who should be protected? Who are hated in this society. They are not protected. They are sexualized, and you know what I'm saying, folks. You know what I'm saying. Children are not loved in America. That being said, there seems to be a disconnect in proportion and law going on here so far. Death sentence for an AI-generated image. You probably got abused as a child and got some form of pleasure seeing these sick people squirm. That could be it too, but that's a form of trauma, bedbug. And so I'm not trying to make a claim as to what exactly these people we just saw are about. I don't know them. I'm just pointing out there's this like vein of emotion and everything. And it's got us going. It's got us going. And it can be missed when you feel righteous and you're feeling all righteous and you're feeling like, yeah, these people deserve death. And personally speaking, I never really quite had a problem with the death penalty because it orders society. That's what it is. It's a mechanism for ordering society. It's for the living. It's not for the dead. And those who are around going killing are already dead. They're meant to deter those who will do something horrible. Those who wouldn't be deterred otherwise by, I don't know, just society, their heart. I don't know what to tell you. A little bit of history on the death penalty, though, and other really tough punishments from the state, if you will. They come from a tradition where prosecuting crimes was quite difficult due to there was no evidence, there wasn't DNA. Trying to even find someone, depending on how far back you go. But these really, really tough punishments, capital punishments, as they call them, were also came about in during a tradition where you couldn't really prosecute people. It was hard to find someone. It was hard to catch someone doing so. You have to either catch them while they're doing it, or you'll never really get them. So you have these really, really, really tough and really big penalties, like all the way up to even losing your life, which would deter people because in the off chance that you get caught, you'll get killed. So maybe there's some need for a conversation on that in modern society where we're surveilled and you could be found in DNA. Maybe that tradition doesn't have its place here. But I don't even want to say anything about that. I don't even think I want to do this death penalty stuff for these people because I'm seeing all the insane people, conservatives, even go wood chipper for things they don't even quite understand. They seem emotional, and I just don't trust it. Okay, they'll see Biden. They'll see Biden's being the way he is with children. They'll be like pedophile, throw him in a wood chipper, and that's just more emotion and crap. So it's like I don't even want to give you that power. I don't want to give you that responsibility of the death penalty. Anyways, what the heck are we talking about? What are we talking about? AI, the PDF files. If you don't think they're going to use this to eventually target LGBTQ people, then you are effing stupid, is what some people are saying about this. You know, you'll have your strange people who will defend they'll call it a sexual orientation. That it's just like being gay. You can't discriminate against the PDF files. So that's its own sickness. But I just wanted to point out, that's obvious, right? That's obvious. You guys already know that. I just wanted to point out the less obvious sickness in ourselves. Even when it's so easy to call, even when it's a PDF file, that one's a layup. That one should be a layup, right? That guy sucks, and I'm not that. And that guy's evil, and at least I'm not a PDF file. That should be a layup for a person, right? I don't think so. Anyways, just wanted to point that out. What shall we do now? 888-775-3773. I think I'm going to move around my order here. I feel like this can segue into, what should I do next here? Pardon the break here. Where do I want to take this next? I have plenty of things to talk about here. Where shall we go? Yeah. We're going to talk about autism. Yeah. I heard it on Joel Friday's show. Definitely check out Joel Friday TV. He was talking about all the isms, all these things that we give names to, and we claim them, and it gets crazy. And we don't overcome those chains because of these titles. And autistic, this is a diagnosis that people get, children get, autism. And they're raised differently, and they say it's because they got problems. Personally, I think the jury's still out. And I get it. There was even a caller on his show, on Joel Friday's show, a caller who had children who had Down syndrome and autism. I don't know if it was both or one or one or the other. And this parent was trying to tell Joel, hey, I don't know if you know, man, I had a kid with autism. And they got problems. They got this and that. I really appreciated Joel because even in the face of someone who lived it, man, I lived it. What are you talking about? The truth is the truth. And I'm with Joel. If I wonder if these autistic children and all this were treated differently, were treated just like everybody else, if they would turn out better. Who's to say? Maybe they really do have something physically, like actual physical structure in their brain or genetics. I don't know. I mean, Down syndrome's a genetic thing, right? That's real. You can see it in their face. They got that look. But there's even someone who comes to church, Jesse Lee Peterson's church on Sundays. You may have heard him speak. Raymond. Anybody remember Raymond? Shout out Raymond. Sometimes Raymond, I don't know what it is. Autistic communication with God. I don't know if the man even has anything. Look, I don't even think about him like that. He's just someone who comes to church. You may have heard him speak. The man seems to be just fine. He speaks funny. He's visibly, we don't even have to get into that. The point is he works, he handles his life. And he's like visibly and audibly, let's call it different. Enough so where someone might treat him differently and all that. But he seems to be, he works, he drives, he talks about work and in church. He's running his life. It may be difficult. I don't know how it is for him, but he does it. I bet you he's also subject to the same penalties as most people. What I mean by that is if he were to commit a crime, I think he'd go to, get charged. I wonder about these autistic children. Okay. So I was watching Joel Friday, great episode on that. And he played a clip. And I was also collecting some clips on autism because there's this trend, okay? There's a trend of families of autistic people documenting their lives on social media. This is my son with autism, and this is Dave, blah, 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 with autism. And I want to show you two of them, Trent and Gabe. These are two separate YouTube channels, and they have their audience and their memes and their stars. and they're classics. Raymond speaks like he's always lecturing you. Ray Ray is more knowledgeable than half of this chat. Dang. So check this out. Let's watch Trent. I think we'll watch Trent first. Trent. Here's Trent. His channel is Drawings by Trent. And it looks like it's ran by his mother. Pretty sure he does have a father. Trent is an older individual. He's like 40-something, maybe even more. 30-something, maybe 40-something. And Trent draws for his fans. And you do see his father in the videos every now and again. So what do I want to show you first? I want to show you Trent here. Let us watch some Trent. Trent drawing. Autism. Trent with autism.
Hi, Mommy. I have a special request today from a really sweet friend. Her name is Nikki. Do you mind drawing it upside down for us?
Yes.
She wants a monkey griffin.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys. You know when a fork scrapes against a plate, it gives you that shuddering feeling? Sharpies do that for me. Fork on glass, a fork on a plate does that for me too, but Sharpies. Metal, not so much. Ugh. Especially if the Sharpie doesn't sound smooth. If the Sharpie sounds like it's getting caught up, ugh. Ugh. Horrible. Downs is so much cooler. So he draws, okay? He draws. Why did I choose this clip? I forget. I wanted to show you Trent because he seems to speak kind of normal.
Hi, Trini.
Hi, Mommy.
Okay, sort of.
I have a special request today from a really sweet friend. Her name is Nikki. Do you mind drawing it upside down for us?
Yes.
She wants a
Yes.
monkey griffin.
Okay, bear with me. Let me paint this picture a little more. Trent. Here's Trent, I think, with his dad. Please don't give me an ad. Nice. I think this is Trent and his dad. Hold up.
A couple of things that have happened. So, number one, Mom hurt her hip, right? Mom has some nerve pain or something in her hip, and so she is not getting around very much. But Mom says you've been a big help. Yes. Have you been helping her getting drinks and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah? Good job, buddy. The other thing that's going on, I've got to show you in the...
I wish you saw as much footage as I've seen, I guess. Maybe I can go through some videos to make you see what I saw. But what I saw was that the father acted like the mother. They talked to him like, buddy, and you're a little boy.
Garage. Let's show you what's out here. You ready?
You're my little buddy. You're my little Trent. You're my little Trent. Okay, bear with me. Let's get to Gabe, and then I want to further paint this picture, okay? Drawings by Trent. You saw that. You can check out their YouTube channel. Maybe see that better. This is a different family on YouTube. They are... This one centers around Gabe. Oh, hold on. Gabe. The channel is For the Love of Gabe. And this, too, is another channel which seemingly is ran by the mother. I've never seen the father. I'm not saying he's not involved with Gabe here. I haven't... It's not like I've seen every video on this channel, but I've seen a few. And I've yet to see the dad. He's never in the thumbnails. I've never seen him. Gabe, For the Love of Gabe. Let's watch a little bit of Gabe and his problems, his autism, and what he can't do and all that. Let's watch. Oh, I think I got to read. Gabe is autistic and non-speaking. This is his first time. Oh, Lord. I'm going to have to do a little trick here. There you go. Gabe is autistic and non-speaking. This is the first time he is seeing his favorite person, Gabby, again after several months of being apart. He was reluctant to look at her at first. And the video continues. He's holding this iPad. You see what he's holding there? He's holding this like iPad in a special case and handle.
Oh, look who it is.
He's just looking at her strange, right?
I'm excited to hear about your Thanksgiving.
And he starts typing in this iPad to communicate. He's non-speaking, they call him.
Do you need anything?
I wonder how long he's been non-speaking.
If I brought waffles for you to have when we have breakfast.
I wonder if you pinched him. I wonder if you pinched him, if you pinched him, if he would make a sound. I wonder if he'd be still non-speaking then. You know what I mean? I wonder if you put a little needle on if you put a thumbtack on the chair. I wonder if Gabe would still be non-speaking then. That's horrible. I'm just saying, look, if you left him alone in an alleyway and he was confronted by, I don't know, an enemy, would he shout for Would he shout for would he shout for help? Would he still be non-speaking? Maybe I'm lacking an understanding here or something. Maybe I'm being glib with Gabe and his problems. But I speak it this way because I just wonder what if they were treated differently. Again, I bring up Raymond. Imagine if Raymond was treated like Gabe and Trent. Just saying. Notice the mother involvement too. I have to point that out. They're heavily involved. They're always involved, especially if it's with cameras. I'm thinking of Jazz Jennings, that boy who transitioned into a girl and is now fat and has got problems, depressed. That mother was all over that. You could tell she loved the cameras. It's like a pageant mother or something. There's something here. There's something there. It's like a pageant mother spirit. It's the mama spirit, okay? You got to understand something. All boys have been done this way in some level by their mothers. It's just these kids have a doctor. They have a little special doctor word which gives the mother free rein to destroy the children. Think about that. That's what an autism diagnosis is. An autism diagnosis is a card. It's carte blanche for a mother. It's free rein to spoil and ruin your kid. It's a free card. It's a get out of jail free card from a doctor. Hey, I'm allowed to spoil and ruin my kid as much as I want because he's got autism. Yep. It's a free, and it's for the mother. It's a free reign card for the mother to do whatever she wants. And then the dad just has to, hey, little buddy. Hey, Trent, are you non-speaking today? Hey, Gabe. Oh, that's my non-speaking son. And I'm his dad. I'm an autism dad. This is my YouTube channel. I don't know what to tell you folks, but it rubs me the wrong way. Maybe I shouldn't be rubbed the wrong way. Maybe that's my problem. Autism. The autism. If I were Rodney Dangerfield, that's how I'd say that. Autism and such. Okay. Let's break this up. Let's break it up with a fun video. How about that? Fun video. Mother playing God. That's an interesting point, Kingmaker. Let's play. How about we do this? Let's have some fun. Wake up. You fell asleep. You're bored. Something happened. It's easy listening on Thursday with American Anchor Baby. And you heard about autism and you're like, okay, now you're like, what? What's been going on? Wake up. We got craziness. You're going to want to see this cop versus cop in a shootout. Big shootout.
Shot fired! Shot
Shots fired! Shots fired! You know.
Wake up!
Oh,
I'm hit.
What? I'm in the car. I was shot.
Did you get him?
Oh.
Shots fired, Bill. I shouldn't be laughing so hard. He just got in a big shootout. What's funny about this? I'm laughing because he got in a shootout with a squirrel. That's the official story here. Okay, this is a police officer. This is body cam footage from a police officer in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, who entered into a lengthy gunfight and a couple of tactical rolls, if you saw that, with a squirrel after he mistook an acorn landing on the roof of his car for being shot in the chest with a silenced pistol. He has now since resigned. He has now since resigned from his position. That is not a joke. That is a lie. That's the truth. He mistook an acorn falling on the roof. You see, what happened is they had actually detained a person already. They had detained an individual in that vehicle. And the vehicle he was shooting at was his own cop car. The vehicle he thought he was getting shot from the person he put in his own cop car who was in cuffs. Bill's cracking up. Hey, that tactical roll. You gotta love that tactical roll. I gotta show this one to Bill. Shots fired. You see him roll?
Shots fired.
And then he unloads the gun. He unloads the freaking gun into his own. Imagine being the perp. What do you do? The perp was actually unharmed, amazingly. I'm hit.
What?
I don't know what that sound was, but that's my favorite part.
In the car.
Hey, hold on, one more time. Sorry, hold on, one more time. What? He's like, he says what in the most calm way. He's like, what? After like screaming, like, I'm hit. And he's like, what? What? Anyway, I'm done. I'm hit. What? Yeah, look, you can't give him too much crap because you've never been in a danger close situation. You don't know what it's like to be on the receiving end of fire in your mind. It's just as real. Being on the receiving end of fire in your mind is just as real. Okay, maybe he shouldn't be a police officer. Can you please explain what is happening? Latin A asks. This is a police officer who mistook an acorn falling on the roof of his car for gunfire. It's what prompted his reaction here. But there was no gunfire. Whew, imagine. He has resigned. Officer might have the tism. He might have the tism. He's overreacting. That's all. It's the way he says what. In the most calm way that gets me. Oh, okay, we back? You awake? It's Thursday. Week's not over. We're almost there. I got a couple more smaller segments here I want to get through that I've been wanting to get to. What should we do first? We mentioned the parents. Okay, yeah, I think we'll do this. Breakdancing dad. That cop roll was amazing. I agree, Kingmaker. He reacts that way because of the other things that happen in his police job. That's fair, right? Kevin Wims, like I said, he truly believed that he was under fire, and Hello. I mean, I've never been in a situation like that. Maybe I'd react the same way, Bill. I mean, I don't want to die. But anyways, you guys remember this girl? I have to show you an update on this woman that we spoke about recently. Not too long ago. You remember her from a video that went sort of viral where she was saying the feminism left her body when she met a man who basically paid for everything on their date. And she swooned and made this weird face when he gave her his credit card and said, buy, get us whatever you want, and went to the bathroom. And she felt the feminism leave her body. Like she'd maybe even consider gender roles. I don't even know why I'm using their terminology, gender roles. You mean normal? But she went viral. We talked about her a little bit. I was like, yeah, I wonder if she'll keep that energy if she got corrected. If he told her no to something, I wonder if she would maintain that energy. There's a bit of an update, though. And I wasn't going to show this. It's not that important. But it's kind of funny. It's kind of insightful. This girl's dad abandoned his wife and 4 kids to pursue breakdancing. And doesn't she look familiar? Not the Bee shares this story with this video accompanying this story here. And it turns out it is that girl. It is that girl who went viral talking about her trauma, a trauma she went through as a kid. She puts out this video asking people, hey, what's a funny trauma you went through? And I want to show you that video because it's kind of funny. Maybe even insightful. Let's watch this girl.
What's a piece of trauma that you have that's funny?
Sorry. I need to prepare myself. I forget she speaks this way.
What's a piece of trauma that you have that's funny? It has to actually be funny. I'll go first. My dad abandoned my family when I was 5 years old. That is a wife and 4 kids. He abandoned...
She said 5 years old, right?
4 kids. He abandoned us and then pursued...
Sorry, that's important because I missed this part earlier. In my research...
My dad abandoned my family when I was 5 years old.
Okay,
That
5.
is a wife and 4 kids. He abandoned us and then pursued amateur breakdancing. And he got really good. He like blew up. Like he became like a D-list celebrity status, like viral breakdancer. He became like the oldest actively competing breakdancer in the world. Then he got on Good Morning America and talk shows, and Washington Post wrote about him, and he went super viral, and he did all these interviews, and he danced with Paula Abdul. Here, I'll show you.
To see, take a look at this 60-year-old breakdancer. Yes, 60 years old. Amazing.
Yeah, she was in line.
That's Ben Hart. He's competing at a breakdancing competition in Philadelphia.
That's kind of awesome.
And he may not have won, but I tell you what, he is winning.
So did he have her when he was 55? Because he became this break dancer at like 60. He became the oldest break dancer ever, or whatever.
Over a lot of people on the internet. Yes. He really is. Yep. He's went over a lot of people on the internet.
This guy wouldn't pay my medical bills.
This guy didn't pay my medical bills because he's off breakdancing. She seems to be taking it in stride. She seems to be smiling about it, laughing it up. Maybe it's for the camera. I don't know.
The worst part, damn it, he's good. He should not be able to move his body like that. It's like impossible. It's beautiful.
You know, watching this a second time, maybe I was on one. Maybe I was feeling some MAGA conservative emotions. And I'm like, this is a story? Yeah, I'll talk about this. I don't know, watching it the second time, she's kind of talking... She's kind of I don't know, it kind of seems like she thinks her dad rocks.
Hey, Dad. Like, there was no split custody or anything. Like, he just...
She did, you know, not the Bee's point, I think, still stands about the feminism leaving her body and how it kind of makes a little bit more sense why she's spoken that way when you realize what happened with her family. But anyways, like I said, seeing this the second time, it kind of seems like she thinks her dad rocks.
Just, like, left 4 kids to do that. He may not have paid for some of my medical bills growing up, but he did give me this breakdancing merchandise. So that's him. He's on his
That's kind of awesome. He didn't leave you. He left your mother. Just wanted to say that.
Is his b-boy name because his name is Ben.
So imagine what's going on with your wife, where your only way out, your only answer, is becoming a breakdancer. I'm gonna go off and do this. I don't know. Maybe that's not such a commentary on his wife so much.
You know, I'll get texts like this, "Happy birthday?" ? And then like links to his breakdancing videos.
Look, I wanted to point this out though. This is a text from her dad. A lot of men and a lot of people get crap for being this way, and I don't know if it's particularly wrong. He texts her, and it's from the way she makes it seem, it sounds like he's usually like this. Distant, aloof. He's got his own life, and he'll every now and then text, and he'll say something like, "Hey, Maddie, I lost track of the date. Happy birthday?" ? He doesn't even know. "I hope you are doing well. Love, Dad." I don't see anything wrong with that. I get a lot of crap for that. I was just getting crap for this too the other day. I get a lot of, and I've tried my whole life to be better and remember birthdays and text you. I'll text you. I'll remember. And I don't know. I think that's silly. I stopped doing that. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't even think this is that bad. I don't think there's anything wrong with being this way. Oh, what a nice dad. No wonder she's kind of okay. You can tell she likes him. That's an interesting point. I agree, Hake. Seeing this again, you know, I see her. I kind of see her thinking her dad rocks. And I think she's blessed for that. Little lesson, ladies. But yeah, men get a lot of crap for being this way. But I think this might be fine. Not remembering. Happy birthday, ? You probably had one of those. But hey, I'm your dad. I love you. Check it out. Look, this is what I've been up to. Lost track of the date. I mean, it's happening to me all the time. It's normal to love your parents even if you resent them. Why does that make sense, sort of, Terry? Right on.
If you have funny trauma, like actual funny haha trauma, I need to hear it. Thank you.
Oh. Well, okay, anyways. Maybe we'll move on from that. Do I have funny trauma? Actual haha funny trauma? Yeah. I think I do. What's the funniest thing I think of? What's the most haha trauma I can think of? I'll think about it. I don't know. I'll think about it. What's the funniest? What did I go through that's funny? Haha trauma. Oh, my background's wrong. Boom. Like actual haha funny trauma. I don't know. But you know what? I don't know about that. But can we, while we're figuring that out, while I think about this and figure that out, can we get a round of applause? Can we get a round of applause for Nathan Wade, please? Just a round of applause for Nathan Wade. Appreciate that, Nathan Wade. I just want to applaud Nathan Wade right now. Right on. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. You got it. You got it. Nathan Wade, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Wade. He's at the center, embroiled in this case with Fani Willis as the lover of Fani Willis, the one who was prosecuting Trump. They're saying weird things about this. This is a breach of what do they call it? She's biased. She's biased. It's a conflict of interest, I think, or something like that. Fani Willis. This is that guy she's being accused of having an improper relationship with, Nathan Wade. But we're just giving it an applause because Nathan Wade is in the middle of this whole special prosecutor case in Georgia, he took the stand, and it turns out Nathan Wade's wife had an affair in 2015. I know sordid details of his personal life, but what came out is he said that his marriage was dead, but that they remained together for the kids until the kids graduated. I don't know anything about Nathan Wade. I don't know a single thing about him. I don't know really anything. But right on, Nathan Wade. Is that a low bar? Is that a low bar for men in America today? He did not leave his wife when she had an affair. He stayed for the kids. Gold star Nathan Wade. Black man being an example. And I'm being a little silly and facetious, but it is. I don't know anything about it, but in a world right now of the examples that exist, especially maybe even amongst blacks, this is, I think, maybe even like a basic marriage thing. He says his marriage was dead, but they remained together for the kids. That's an extremely low bar, says 𝒐𝒊. What are you saying, 𝒐𝒊? Are you saying that should just be normal for marriages? An affair isn't just grounds for a divorce, and that should just be normal? Not that affairs are normal, but working through it and forgiveness. Is that what you're saying, 𝒐𝒊? That congratulating him would be a low bar because that should just be normal? If that's what you're saying, that makes some sense to me. Do be a beta cuck, kids. No. Yes, vows are till death. Says 𝒐𝒊. Interesting. That's going to ruffle some feathers. But vows are till death. Dang, 𝒐𝒊. So sad. So we're just giving him a little applause. I'm just messing around. I'm having fun. I'm just messing around. Because you know, it's not the usual example. Really, for all men, I don't know of anyone who would. Let me take that back. I was going to say I don't know anyone who would stay with their wife. Should she cheat or anything like that? But I'll take that back. Blacks was trending on X. I've never seen that before. Blacks was like trending on X.com. Speaking of examples for the black community or something like that. And the conversation is kind of interesting. It kind of looks like my chat comments or something. They're like, what's going on with the blacks? They're shooting up the place. And the reason I think this is trending is because everyone's talking about guns. They're talking about the guns. They're talking about the effing guns. Not the effing guns. It's the effing guns, writes Jess Piper, who is a rural mom for Blue, Missouri. Oh, gosh. And she has a podcast, host of the Dirt Road Democrat. She's a Dirt Road Democrat. I'm in Missouri, I'm Dirt Road. I'll teach you how to I'll skin a possum and let in illegals in the same day. Anyways. We'll move on from that. It's the effing guns, she writes. Again, I think this is all in response to this Kansas shooting. I think this is all in response to Kansas and that shooting. In fact, in this trending, underneath this trending term here on X, people have been posting. You know what? I think they even posted it on in the comments of this woman here. Someone posted the stats they showed on the Jesse Lee Peterson show this morning. The same image. This image of who's really doing all the shooting? It's the effing guns. But you saw it if you were watching the Jesse Lee Peterson show this morning. It was the stats that were going around, and like how many gun deaths per 100,000 in America, the population of America, and how it's astronomical. It's like way higher for blacks, like way higher. It stands to reason that if you just America, they say gun violence, they're chart toppers and gun violence and things like that. I wonder what those numbers would be like. Oh, thanks, Low Nick. If you didn't have black gun violence. So that's an obvious one, though. You guys get that. It's the effing guns. There's an interesting point about this, though. And if you don't know, might as well inform you a little bit here. If you're just happy to be catching my show and have not heard anything about this, 2 Kansas City Chiefs parade shooting suspects are juveniles who were having a personal dispute over gun chaos that killed 1 and injured 21 and shamed the city on its big day. Kansas City cops over a Super Bowl parade mass shooting. They were juveniles. You've seen this picture. You see dreads on one, black hands on another. Nobody wants to talk about it's black juveniles. You heard that on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Nobody really mentioning that. Keeping it hush. But that's the story. They got into a dispute out in public, out there in the streets, and started shooting. They started blasting. Bystanders caught the rounds. Here's a point here, I think from another Democrat. I don't know what he is. A liberal. He goes by, I smoked presidential immunity on Twitter, on X. He writes, the police telling me that they were as well prepared and well staffed as possible. Take that with a grain of salt. That might not be true, but I'd say they most likely were. For the Super Bowl parade and people still got shot is proof that there's no amount of policing that can make us safe. The problem is too many guns. Now, this person is a liberal and has a false conclusion here, saying the problem is too many guns. That's a false diagnosis. Won't fix the problem. It'll just stop law-abiding citizens from being able to protect themselves. Too many thugs, not guns, says Mike Garcia. I smoked presidential immunity rights. You can't shoot people if there are no guns. That's not a response to this presidential. Maybe you smoked too much presidential immunity, sir. But that's not a response to too many thugs, not guns. If there were no more thugs, I don't know if you would be talking right now, smoking presidential immunity. Black Knight 10K on Twitter. X. But he is right about this, though. He is right that there's no amount of policing that can make us safe. Not in the way people think. In this preventative manner, where you're going to stop a mass shooting before it even happens. How? You can't stop most things before it happens. The nature of violence is that you're always at a disadvantage. The defender is always at a disadvantage, and there's almost very little you could do to prevent and plan for an attack against someone who is sufficiently motivated and prepared. That's just the truth. And men know this, and that's why men are okay with the Second Amendment and defending yourself, because this is how the whole world is. Think about how the whole world maintains security. Think about this for you people living in a fantasy land who think that life is not this way. That force is what maintains peace. The entire planet's security is maintained by what? The threat of nuclear bombs. Nothing else. You heard, I don't know if you saw this, but there are rumors of nuclear capabilities that the Russians are developing or have already developed that will destabilize security. What is that? You got to understand this. That's how the whole world functions on this order of security. You're going to tell me all of a sudden we could create a little utopia, you satanic person? Violence is a real thing. And you can't take away the guns, but you can maybe be a more moral populace. You know, the homes can be not these hellscapes. But anyways, what did I want to say about this? Yes, you can't prepare. Men know this. And so people are understanding this, but what does this guy say? His response is and that's why we have to control everyone and mama everyone. I'm not saying it might even work in a sense. You could probably, on a piece of paper, get gun violence to 0%. You know what I mean? But what did you accomplish there? You got some shallow stat down to 0. The hearts are evil. The people will be more locked down than ever. Anyways, I'm rambling at this point. Yeah, mutual destruction. You're right, Kilo Alpha Tango. It's called assured mutual what is it? Mutual assured destruction. Mad. So he's right about that. But his response is to go, mama. I don't know if we got to do that. I think manliness is cooler. It actually stops evil. Getting rid of the guns doesn't stop. It actually, manliness is an actual response to evil. Getting rid of the guns is actually more evil. It might stop the gun violence, to be fair. Honestly, you'll get other violence, but when you look at some of these mutually assured destruction, that's what it is. Thank you. But I'm rambling at this point. You guys following me somewhat here. What else is there to say about this? Yep, Kansas shooting. That's pretty much it. That's all I got to say about that. But I got Brian out of North Carolina. Sir, I think you're on the air.
Thanks, Nick. How you doing? Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Can you hear me?
All is yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, right on, man. Hey, I want to make 3 points. The first one, you just mentioned how you said about I couldn't see because I'm on the phone, but there was a guy and you were saying how you don't think he would be talking right now if they got rid of the black gun violence.
Yeah.
You remember
that
saying
guy?
That?
Yeah, that guy who was saying in response to too many thugs, not guns, he says you can't shoot people if there are no guns. I don't know if he'd be even even responding to this.
And I think I know I pretty much believe that that's a fact. I think that that's very true, and I think it's something you can relate with because you used to work in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And it made me think about something that I noticed when I was working in a restaurant. I noticed that most of the people in there, there were a lot of black people in there, but there were a lot of other people in there too. And I noticed that when the black people weren't around, the other people acted up very differently. But once the black people came around, it was like everybody was trying to make sure they were black enough.
That's something you noticed?
Yeah.
That is funny. You said they're trying to be black enough, you said?
Well, I'm wording it that way, but I noticed that when the blacks were around, it's like everybody else started to become degenerate because the blacks were pretty much running amok.
Dang, that is an interesting thing. I don't know if I saw that exactly, but you're making me think of, there was dynamic. There's I'm thinking of two specific workplaces at a restaurant where there were, I remember one where a black person started working there. We didn't have one before. People changed. People started, I had coworkers say the N-word and never said it before.
Yep.
And I don't know where they got it from. I don't know where they got all fresh, feeling all fresh. I don't know where it came from. You would think that they would go the other way and not say that word ever. Now, even especially because there's a black person. But I remember they turned into like fobs. They turned into total fobs. Like they'd never seen a black person. They're like, hey, N-word, and yo, and I don't know how to. So that's one.
Yep.
But I remember this other one.
Well, that was the one way. That was okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. No, go on.
What was the other one?
It was a black sous chef and the black servers. They all teamed up, and all the Mexicans, they all teamed up, and they hated each other.
Right. Okay. That's pretty much the same thing. So when they do that, that's the same thing. But the other side of them changing is like the people who are, I guess, more like aware. Maybe not even that. I don't even want to give them a term, but there's another group of people inside of that restaurant who don't, when the blacks come around, they do kind of like what we see the whites doing now, which is cower down and just become mute and become bitter and angry and don't like each other. But when you take them away, it's like everybody can be free, well, the people who I guess can be free.
That's so evil. Go on. I'm cutting you off, please.
No, you're fine. That's something that I know. I agree with you when you say that if you took away this black gun violence, we wouldn't even be talking about this right now.
I don't think so.
You know what I mean?
If the numbers, if my math is correct, I don't know if we would be talking about this
at all, man. I agree. But and the other point I had was on the earlier topic that you were on about autism.
Nice.
And I grew up literally right next door to a kid who was autistic, and he was the same age as all of us, and he played with us all the time. We would always be outside hanging together, playing together, and he was obviously slow, but he had a really from what we viewed, he had a really strict father, and sometimes he would get in trouble and have to they would call him in the house, and sometimes they would discipline him. We would hear him being disciplined, and I bumped into him. I hadn't seen this guy in like 15, 16 years, and I bumped into him a year ago, and literally you could not tell that he was slow at all.
Really?
I'm not joking.
There you go. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I'm still amazed at that because the guy that I remember was I want to call him something because
right.
That's what that's what we called it. But I can't even call them that anymore.
They freaking cut off the balls of, I didn't say that, of Americans in their speech. But look at me. Look, I'm not afraid. But hey, the sun is still up. That is an interesting story, Brian. That is super interesting because are you telling me that the kid you knew is the same kid that they would diagnose today and treat all funny like they do to some of the kids we saw in videos?
Man, he would be like that kid that I knew. He would be treated. If the father wouldn't have been there and the mother was there, he would look just like those two videos that you showed where they're babying this guy around and treating him like he's some growing calf that they need to bottle feed, daily or whatever.
Fascinating. Very fascinating.
And then, it's pretty amazing. And the third thing was somebody in the chat, I think it was 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔, she said something about vows are till death. Is that what she said?
Yeah, till death do we part, cuh.
Death do we part, cuh. Hey, cuh. I'm getting married, cuh. You coming to a wedding? No, I'm not coming to a wedding. And you know what? Everybody I know has taken vows to another person. Those vows are not till death do you part because those aren't real.
Oh. So are you saying people who are doing all these vows, they're just lying?
They're lying to themselves. They're taking vows to another person. Who's taking a vow to another person?
Dang. I'm trying to devil's avocado this, but I can't.
The vow you're supposed to take it's a vow to God, and I don't even know anybody who's clearly taken that vow.
Right. Anytime I've taken a vow to God, I've been lying about that too.
Exactly.
Maybe 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊 just means marriage, just marriage itself, not the words you said while you were at this altar, but just the marriage itself. Maybe that's what you mean.
I know. I wonder if she had some vows at her wedding.
That's like a tradition, right? I'm sure a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Dang.
Probably 95% of them.
That's the way she goes. But that should be a freeing thing. It should be like, that's okay. You don't have to live up to that. That's a false expectation anyways.
That's what I mean. I agree. That's all I call for, Nick. You have that you were right on the money with the gun violence thing. Though it made me think about that situation, and you can clear with individuals. Like, I would deal with a single individual by themselves, and then you get them amongst another group of people, and it's like, you're not. I know who you are, and that's what you're not. So why are you acting like this? It's because they're allowed to act like that, and you're allowing them to take it up to space while they act like that.
Dang, and it's easier to just let them and than confront that.
Yep.
Scary. Appreciate your call, Brian.
All right, brother. Take care. Thank you.
Yeah, right on. Call me again. Nice. Why are you guys being rude to Cecil? Oh, come on. Leave her alone. What shall we do now? 888-775-3773 if you want to jump on the line in the last few minutes of the show. Let me do a little perusing of the chats, see how my folks are doing before we move on to the next thing here. I think the final thing, I think we are on our final approach here. Speaking of approaches, don't miss tomorrow's flight. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. We're flying away on Nick Stream Fridays. So you want to hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we take off. You don't want to miss your flight. Be fit to be fit, man. Thank you so much for your super chat. Says, is there a way to increase black deaths from guns? I disavow. I'm taking that from Hake. It's an emergency, though. It's an emergency disavow. Emergency disavow. The artist formerly, I was going to give you an answer, be fit to be fit, but that's probably not smart. I was going to... The artist formerly known as Tyrone Super Chat says, Nick, have you ever heard of an autistic Amish kid? I don't think they make them. I don't know. Let's ask Uncle Google. If I get an autistic Amish kid video, then you have to do 30 push-ups. USA Today, Tyrone. I mean, the artist formerly known as Tyrone. Check this out. Look at what the mass media is doing. Is this brainwashing or is this real? Are they just trying to make you are they just trying to say not even the Amish? Look, yes. Look at this. USA Today reports. Yes, there are cases of Amish children with autism, cancer, and diabetes. Fact check. So no, you Amish people who think you're better than us? No, you're just as sick as us. Look at this. This is kind of a sick article. Claim, a new study found 0 cases of autism, cancer, or diabetes in Amish. That's the claim. And they got fact checked. I wonder if it's lower incidences, though. I wonder if they're on average healthier. They stay married. The Amish, they stay married. They have their families in their communities. So yeah, talk your ish, USA Today. You're just jealous. You're just as sick as us, huh? You Amish people. You're just as sick. Look at this sick Amish person. So appreciate the super chat, though. Artist formerly known as Tyrone. Chris with the super chat, thank you. Thank you so much for the support. And my supporters over there on Rumble. Hiya. all right. I say we move on. They seem nice. The Amish can't catch a break. Shall we do one final thing here? I think we'll do this. I think we'll end the show on this note. On the science. Trusting the science. This was shared by James Kirkpatrick. I believe he's a writer for 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎, maybe? 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎. They do some great reporting on, I don't know, and the hostility of mainstream media against Americans, the white man, white America. Anyways, James Kirkpatrick shares this. It's a post from someone else named Veera Rajagopal. Veera Rajagopal. Indian-sounding name, Indian-looking man. He writes, someone used DALL-E to create gobbledygook scientific figures and submitted them to Frontier's journal. And guess what? The editor published it. LOL. What he's talking about is Frontier's. Well, DALL-E. Well, Frontier's Media, an academic publisher of peer-reviewed open access journals. If you know anything about peer-reviewed journals, they're the bread and butter of the academic community. Peer-reviewed. You always hear that. Peer-reviewed published article. Peer-reviewed published work. That makes it real because all the experts agree. That makes it true. So you got to listen. Someone used DALL-E. DALL-E is one of these AI image generators, okay? You put in text, you write something, you write Jesse Lee Peterson and Trump on a motorbike doing wheelies in heaven. And DALL-E spits it out. And so what's going on here is this scientific, peer-reviewed publisher took these made-up scientific, so-called scientific figures here made by these image generators, published them in a scientific journal, in this trust the science, folks. Here's your scientists. Here's your experts. Here are your experts. They can be hijacked. Cellular functions of spermatogogal spermatogonal stem cells in relation to whatever science, okay? And in this journal, in this published scientific journal, you can see right here, figure 1. These figures, in fact, all of these figures, they're all fake. Get wrecked, scientists. Mr. Scientist. Poor Anna Young. Poor Anna Young. They got her. They trolled her good. They got her good. This is the editor. Your female, I don't know. She's the scientist. Editor of the Frontiers Journal, Dr. Anna Young. Dr. Anna Young. Anna? Dr. Anna? I don't know. She's a senior lecturer at the University of Bath. And she's interested in unsteady flow and tidal power. Tidal power. She's a nerd. No, I'm joking. She's a nice lady. Teaches fluid mechanics to whoever's listening. And sometimes cycles up hills very slowly. What is there to say about fluid mechanics? Like, is there really that much to say about fluid mechanics? Okay, when planes go through air goes around the plane like this. I don't know. Is there much to say? I'm sure she's a nice lady. Dr. Anna Young. She saw this horrific looking thing and she thought to herself, this is science. Yeah, this is science. Oh, this? Yeah, this is the science. This is the science. This is a rat. This is its dysliced. Those right there, that patch of fur, that's actually its cenctolic stem cells. That's a rat. Duh, that's a rat. These are dialectical stem cells. This giant mass that you've never seen on a rat. That's totally normal. Don't ask questions. These, those are testum cells. That's a duck. That's a DCK. This mass of flesh in a petri dish. Retat. That's retat. If I ever saw a rat with a man, what is that connected to? What is this? It seems like it's connected to, like it's growing off of this. Oh, this is incredible. Incredible stuff. This is very science. This is, in fact, quite science. This right here, what you're looking at, I mean, I don't know how this is not clear for you. This is like cells 101. Animal cell, plant cell, I don't know. It's a cell. Why ask you so many questions? Come on, man. This is the signal binding recitin. Now, this is not even English. This is just gobbledygook. Reproization of his regular. And these are stat protest. Like, okay, I'm beating this dead horse. But you get it. You get it. This is amazing. And you might think, oh, that's funny, Nick. Like, oh, big old funny. We're joshing on Dr. Anna. It's a big old prank on Dr. Anna Young here. We got her good, but okay, that's enough with the joke. This is not a commentary on science and experts and our medical fields and our teachers. It's not at all, Nick. Don't be ridiculous. This is a one-off case. No, I gotta say, folks, if you don't believe me, just pay attention. This is our experts. These are our medical professionals. These are the people we've relinquished our health and bodies to because they know better. I promise you, I truly believe it's that. It's not just a one-off thing here. But that's a funny little way to end the show. Poor Dr. Anna. Don't be too hard on her. Appreciate the super chat, Carver. He writes, zombie apocalypse starts here. There's some people excited for that. That's pretty much it for me, though. That's the whole show. Just showing how little peer-reviewed means. Right on. Totally agreed, Pete. That last one is pure autistic rage. Yep, Anna has the tism. Dr. Anna Young. All right, folks. That's enough for me. Once again, call me tomorrow. Super chat me tomorrow. Join me tomorrow on the flight. You don't want to miss it. We're flying tomorrow. Nick Stream Fridays. But I'm going to say goodbye now. All right, y'all. Peace. See you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Catch you Friday for Open Line Friday. More Hake Report and the flight. 4 p.m. Pacific time. Around there. Don't miss it. All right, y'all.